Knowledge bomb. What's the science, baby?
What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. What's going on, fam? You know the name. So if you've seen the thumbnail, you see the topic. Some of y'all may or may not know where this is about to go. Maybe I should move the mic a little bit further over this way so you can hear where I'm going with this. So first and foremost, thanks for coming, right? But more importantly, this topic might ruffle some people's feathers. I was going to do a lot of cussing and whatnot today, but in all honesty, man, it's been a long day and I'm really, really tired. So I'm not going to cuss as much as I would or as I wanted to. But and it's been a rough day. So shout out to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. I was listening to his show about last night, and the story he talked about with the grandfather who wound up being, saying a grandfather was oppressive and praising a grandmother for being such a great, strong woman, for putting up with him being macho, even though this man was working 10 to 12 hour days in the fields for 40 years. And the wife and grandmother was allowed to be a housewife that whole time. And the young lady never walked a mile in her granddad's shoes, but he was oppressive. So if you look at the thumbnail, for people who don't know, that's Atlas. The Greek mythology Atlas, the man that holds the world up. That's his job as a god. He's just holding the world up while everybody else is, moving around in it, frequenting the world and going on their own endeavors. And they think, it's nothing of it because there's a guy who's basically shackled to holding up everybody else's world. And they show him no love, no reverence, no respect, no nothing. Because they're entitled to just do whatever, be whatever. Because, hey, this is my, whatever goes on in the world is my world, but he just happens to hold it up to make sure I can enjoy it. But I'm gonna act like he don't exist or that he's beneath me. This is where we going with this, So now we got an issue. And I'm gonna talk and I did a video, it uploaded about Kanye West and what I felt about that situation, what I thought about that situation. But this is going to be a little bit more intricate in certain aspects of, let's just be honest now. How fathers are treated and have been treated in the last, and how they're depicted, over the last 60 to 100 years is disgusting. I'm going to focus on Black fathers in particular, but it's fathers in general. And the fact that a lot of people have an issue with fathers and their dads and their granddads and their great granddads, but they ain't willing to walk a mile in their shoes, or they're not even willing to put themselves in that position, makes me have a real disdain towards people and their ideologies and their thoughts of being oppressed and their thoughts of being, abused or abandoned or whatever they want to call it. So first and foremost, we're going to start here. If you feel like your dad or granddad wasn't a good person, while you spent your whole lifetime benefiting off of his work, let me ask you a question. Did you ever say thank you? See, when your mom or your grandmom did something, you had a tendency, you have a tendency to look back on your childhood and your teenage years and go, oh man, they worked so hard for the family. But see, when it comes to the fathers and the grandfathers and the great grandfathers, nothing. You don't say, man, my they went off to the Korean War in Vietnam and they came back and they worked in plants. You know, they worked in fields, they dug ditches, they worked in plumbing, they fixed cars, they did this, they did that. But you never said thank you, you know, because that's just what they were supposed to do. They worked from sun up to sundown, but you despised this man. You didn't respect this man in his life or in his death. But it's his fault. You were selfish with this man. You got mad when that man would go to work. He would get up before you get up, go to work before you get home after you've gotten home and you've chilled out and you played and you watched TV. And at the same time, he went to work and he put food on the table. Y'all done got so upset. Y'all were so mad. Y'all detested even somebody making him a plate. Y'all detested him eating first. Y'all detested him getting a big portion of food. As a matter of fact, some of y'all were so doggone selfish. Y'all would try to eat up most of the food because y'all, I'm hungry and this is what I want, this and I want that. And you grew up as an adult and you didn't say, you know what? The fact that I kept doing that, or I kept trying to do that, was disgusting and selfish. That was hella disgusting. That man is exhausted every day. And I came here, you know, I came in the house, and when he came in the house, I act like, it's just the guy that pays the bills and puts food in the refrigerator. And, he ain't nobody. Mm, he ain't nobody. This is the same guy who used to have these trucks and these cars that you were embarrassed to be seen in with him. And why didn't he have? Some of these guys couldn't afford better cars and trucks. Or then some of these guys took that car and truck money that they could have got a better car and truck with, and better clothes and better shoes with, and they spent it on you. You forgot about that part. You forgot about all the piano lessons and violin lessons and swimming lessons, and park trips and field trips and endeavors and camps. You forgot about all that because for some of y'all, oh, my mama paid for that, my grandmama paid for that. No, your daddy paid for it, your granddaddy paid for it. It's just they might have been at work when it was time to take you. They took extra hours on their shift. They worked overtime, but you scared to be seen with them in public. You make me look bad. You make us look poor. You never considered the fact that you went to school as a child looking presentable, and you felt like he made you look bad or poor because he came in work pants and a work shirt and work boots or work uniform. That was an issue for you because you were cute or you were fly. How dare he? How dare he show up? This is the same guy who you got mad at when he was trying to teach you life skills. When you young men, hey, come help me fix this car. Hey, go cut the grass. Hey man, we got to paint this house. Hey, we gotta, nail it, fix the shingles or fix the fence. I ain't doing all that. I want to watch cartoons. Interesting. You want to watch cartoons. You want to enjoy your childhood. So while you get to come and go as you please run and play, and this guy's working, 7 days a week because he don't have no time off with y'all because y'all always doing something stupid that's causing him to not get rest and relaxation on his day. See, God rested on the seventh day. These fathers didn't. They didn't. You never walked a mile in their shoes to care, though. You never walked not 1 mile in their shoes to care, say, hey, man, I appreciate what you did. Y'all never said thank you. Y'all never gave a damn. Because y'all were jerks. A lot of y'all remember, I got abused. I got whooped. He smacked me. You remember getting abused, huh? You remember getting whipped. You remember him punching you. But see, here's the thing. You don't remember what you did. Y'all don't remember how mean-spirited y'all were to a lot of y'all fathers, do you? Do you? And when boys become men and they wind up becoming fathers and men, half of us don't go back and apologize. Like, damn, this is what my dad was doing. This was his day. Because we forget about all these people who, man, didn't want to be anything like their fathers. I don't want to be nothing like you. I'm not you. I'm not gonna be you. I'm not gonna try to be you. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, so you're gonna be something different. Okay, be something different. Be something better. Here's the one thing you're gonna have to pay attention to, though. To get there, you're gonna have to stand on my shoulders. And I gotta hold you up. Let's talk about a little bit about, being ungrateful. And part of this is because I saw a video with Kyrie Irving on Instagram, and he was, playing, of course, with the Nets. They was playing Cleveland, and the guy was heckling him, and he was like, and he said something to Kyrie. Kyrie said, "Man, I brought this city a championship, and it's how you act. Y'all some ungrateful motherfuckers." And the guy's response literally was, "It was only one." And in my mind, I'm like, "Bitch, what have you brought to that city?" Like, a man brought a championship to your city for your favorite team, and you brought nothing to that city, but you gonna tell a person, well, because you left, you ain't do enough for me. What have you done for the city or him? Nothing. So let me fast forward and use that reference to the daughters. You hear a lot of ladies talking about they daddy's little girl. I'm a daddy's girl, and daddy this and daddy that. And I'm like, let me be real with you. I've met a lot of women who said they were daddy's girls. I met a lot of them. 99, 90, I ain't gonna say 99. Let's just say 9 out of 10 of them never did shit for their dad. The reason why they're daddy's girls because they got free stuff from their dad all the time. They never went out of their way to do shit for their dad. They just loved their dad because their dad, he couldn't be a simp because he was their dad. But when they were grown and they were strong and independent and empowered and educated, time to do something for their dad, they was bare minimum and up. You got him a tie when you was a child, and you ain't get him shit when you was grown, even though he's your best friend. And then you wonder why, in a dating practice, when people say, I want to meet a man like my father, and I ain't met one like him yet, so I can't settle down or blah, blah, blah. And the truth is, you're not going to meet a guy like your father because your father did everything for you and you ain't did shit for him. So you want to meet a man that would do everything for you and you don't do shit for him. He ain't your daddy. And the fact that you view him as I view you just like my daddy, a man that's going to love me and take care of me, and I'm going to do absolutely nothing for him. Absolutely nothing. And my love is contingent upon all the stuff he does for me, and I can just say, I love you. That's it. That's some bullshit. So this is the society we in. See, fathers are treated in a disgusting manner. Like, let me fast forward and say this. For all the kids who fathers wasn't in the house and they received child support, I can tell you, the vast majority of you, when your dad bought you something, you fucked it up. You asked your dad for something, your dad bought you something, and just like that, you fucked it up. You know why you fucked it up? You fucked it up because it came from him, out of spite. Things you wanted and things you needed. Or he bought you something you wanted or needed, you threw it to the side. Even if it was something that could have been your favorite, you threw it to the side because he got it. I don't want it because he got it. But we're going to act like that didn't happen, right? Because, see, we tell a story about why you feel like you got abandoned, or why your father wasn't a good father, why your grandfather wasn't a good grandfather, or why your great grandfather was Mr. for them color purple, and now you running around being an asshole to men because you hate Danny Glover. But you rarely hear the other part of the story about the things you did from childhood to adulthood that prove you wasn't shit. That part we forget about. That part we look over. Like, for instance, I've used this reference. Dr. Tia Son Johnson has used this reference. Y'all all came up in your grandmama's house, and your grandfather wasn't in the house, but it never dawned on you to say, damn, my grandmother really never worked. How'd she pay for this house? She was married. He paid for the house. She got his pension when he died. So grandmama always had money. There you go. But when your grandmother died, it was grandmama's house, and we gonna go visit grandma. We love my grandmama, and I love my mama, and I'm always go da 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 da. Interesting. Here's what I find interesting though. In that whole process, y'all never asked him not one question. Because you don't like your grandfather or your father because of something your grandmother or your mother said. But you never talk to your grandfather or your father about their life, their side of the story, because it didn't matter to you. See, where they're coming from never mattered to you. How they grew up never mattered to you. The adversity they faced never mattered to you. Because they weren't even human beings to you. Whatever they went through, they just you treated your fathers and grandfathers like they deserved it, like they had it coming. That's how you treated them, and that's how you still treat them to this day. Oh man, here we go with these notifications and shit. Um, so now we're gonna play that game. That game where, you know what? Wait, where's granddad from? Where's your dad from? How did he grow up? What was his challenges? What was he good at? And I'm bringing this into the fold because you know how petty some of y'all have been and were raised to be. What the fuck? Y'all were raised when y'all found out y'all had something, a talent that was passed down from your mom. It was y'all got that from my mama. But when you found out you had a talent or a skill set from your father or your grandfather, whatever, I'm gonna be better than him. He was nothing. Wow, interesting. It's kind of weird when he's good at something and it got passed down to you, and now it's good, and now you can use it to benefit your life. Now it's interesting that you despise. You gonna use the power he gave you to destroy him, and it's like, man, go on somewhere with that BS. But we're not supposed to talk about it because, hey, if a father did something, it's looked at as something that could, your father broke records. I'm gonna break all his records to destroy his name from ever existing. Hmm. That's how you see your dad, huh? As somebody to I'm gonna compete against him to make sure I wipe his legacy off the face of the earth. It'd be one thing if you say I could build on it, you know what I'm saying? But no, y'all get to the point where y'all just want to make sure he never existed. And then it's like, oh, this is how you treat it as a father. But when I become a father, this ain't gonna happen. And then lo and behold, you become a father and the exact same shit happened. The exact same shit happened to you. But for you, it's different because you're a different person and you're a better man than that man ever was and that grandfather ever was. You're not deserving of the bad treatment that they got. Well, what makes you think they were deserving of the bad treatment they got? You don't even fucking know them. You never tried to get to know them. See, a lot of y'all don't want to talk about, what is dad and what grand. That's why dad and granddads would go fishing and go hunting because they wanted to get away. What were they getting away from? All you ungrateful motherfuckers. They worked all that time to put a roof over people's head, and put food on the table, put clothes on people's back, and to make sure people were in peaceful environments to get the middle finger from the whole damn household. And this is what they had to come home to. This is what they got up in the morning and worked for. A bunch of ingrates. We got abandoned. How the fuck you get abandoned? How you get abandoned when a person that's putting their life on the line for you and doing all this work to make sure you straight, you don't give a fuck about them. You giving them the middle finger with your actions every day, but you the one that got abandonment issues. You full of shit. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is. You full of shit. You know, my dad was hard on me. Good. That's what you needed. See, when your mama hard on you, you feel like you deserve it because you've been fucking up that much that your mama got to be hard on you. My mama had to be hard on me because I was acting up. I didn't know how to act. Turn on the Oscar winning performance of a dumb fuck. You know what I'm saying? But then when your dad's hard on you, oh, he's evil. You know? Yes, I did. That's what this is about, JBA. You know, he was evil. He was evil. He was always on me, made me do stuff I didn't want to do it. And we ain't gonna talk. Well, we are gonna talk about it. Do you know how many people wind up being a failure in life because they rebelled against their fathers and grandfathers, making sure they had a work ethic? I don't want to do that shit. I'm not doing it. You're not gonna make me do this. You're not gonna make me do that. Now this motherfucker out here being a horrible human being. Very interesting. This is why I say, uh, fathers get you. It's disgusting. Fathers, it's a disgusting. You have. I could give you 3 generations, and this is normal. You can have a father who people say was a who can have a son who his son can say his father was a hard ass, right? or my father wasn't there, or he wasn't there the way you liked him, which I'm going to touch on that in a second, though. So now your father was a protector and a provider, and he was on your head to make sure that you actually could take care of yourself as a grown adult, and you rebelled against that. And then you became a father, and you still wanted to live, you wanted to have your second childhood and shit. And you became a horrible father, but you blamed, you wasn't a protector or a provider, but you blame your lack of being a protector and provider on your father's parenting style, because he was on your head about your damn laziness. And it's his fault you ain't a protector and a provider, because he was on your ass to make you one, and you rebelled, and now you can't take care of your own goddamn kids. And then somehow your if your dad is dead, your mother is helping you take care of your kids with money, if your father isn't alive or in the house that your father paid for. Y'all do some weirdo shit. The way we treat fathers is disgusting. Because he's Atlas. He got to hold up your whole world while you do whatever the fuck you want to do, but he to blame from all of your bad decisions. Which makes me go back to what I was about to say about parenting. A lot of y'all are disgusting because, truth be told, who the fuck told you was gonna tell your father how he should have parented you? See, this is how I say some of y'all motherfuckers are dumb, or arrogant, or assholes, or jerks, or jackasses as children to adulthood, because you trying to you don't want your kids telling you how you should have raised them, but you want to turn around and tell your father, this is how you should have did. You should have did this. You should have did that. No adult wants to hear that dumbass shit from a kid. It's y'all kids. Let's be real. See, the type of shit y'all do, the type of shit that's been done to fathers, it's in the books. See, you'll steal your mother's car and you'll wreck it. You'll fuck it up. And then, but you'll work, or your father have to pay for the shit. Or if but you'll hold that in your heart for years. I remember when I took your car, and I wanted to go to a party, and I hit a light pole, and you couldn't pay to get it fixed. I remember that. And now that I got some money, I'm gonna take care of you, mama. I swear to God, I bought you a new car because I remember what I did to your old car. Do you remember all the shit of your fathers that you destroyed? You ain't trying to pay him back for shit. You don't even give a fuck. You wrecked his car, don't give a fuck. Stole his favorite albums and broke them, don't give a fuck. Took some of his clothes and destroyed them, don't give a fuck. He had things passed down to family heirlooms, you fucked those up, and it was sentimental to him, don't give a fuck. And then you just want to sit around with your nose in the air. You a father, but you ain't a daddy. You a daddy, but you ain't a father. You a fucking asshole. That's what you are. And you've never been a good person. Because this is how fathers are viewed. You get to destroy everything your father ever created. Because all this talk about legacy, a lot of you people who talk about legacy really and truly are full of shit, because you'll destroy your father's legacy at the first chance you get. First chance you get. A lot of this gentrification, you know what a lot of that is? Underlying contempt for your fathers and grandfathers. This house, I just have bad memories of this house. It's just so oppressive. Get the fuck out of here. He made me mop the floor and cut the grass, and he made me Rake the leaves. Oh, I hate this house. I hate it so much. He wouldn't buy me cereal to eat every day because he said I need to eat real food. He not buying no cereal, and I don't fuck that Cracker Jack boxes and them gifts, and I hate him so much. I can't wait till he die. I'm gonna sell a house for 37 cents. Fuck that nigga. That's how y'all get down. And then when you don't have a fucking place to stay, then it dawns on you that was a dumbass decision to make. We didn't lost mama house. No, you never lost mama house because mama never paid for that house. You lost your father's house and you don't give a fucking now. And when your mother died, let's just get rid of it all. It's bullshit. You know, man, BMT, man, thank you, fam. This is how we playing around. You know, your fathers and grandfathers who, you know, the grandfathers who had third grade, fifth grade educations, putting your ass through school, and you hate his guts. Ain't that a bitch? He your biggest supporter. He get up in the morning and gets no respect from you, but he's thinking of you when he's working 8, 10, 12, 16-hour days. Like, I'm gonna make sure my baby is not going to be doing this. I'm going to put you in a position that you don't have to do this. This unfairness that I went through, I'm not going to let you go through this. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working. And now you went to school, you got an education, you wind up with minimal debt, and you turn right around and flip that dude off like I did this all myself. You ain't did. I'm grown. Ain't nobody ever helped me do shit. You was a motherfucking lie. You was a motherfucking lie. And what makes it worse is, and why I say it's disgusting, is because you got a lot of people out here who would disrespect their fathers in the daylight, but then call them in the dark, asking for a favor. That's how y'all act. Man, fuck that nigga, man. Bitch ass nigga ain't shit, man. Hoe ass nigga, fuck you. You ain't never been shit. You ain't never did shit for me, nigga. Fuck you. Who is you? You ain't shit. And then when the shit hit the fan, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to ask. You know what I'm saying? All my pride. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to ask you for nothing. But I really need some help. Why don't you ask all them other motherfuckers you respect so much for help? They just can't come through. Because see, a lot of you folks who say you've been abandoned and you've been mistreated, y'all don't ever want to talk about how y'all were in on a mistreatment. See, a lot of you y'all forget when y'all were kids and teenagers and adults. It's one thing to be alienated, you know, parental alienation, your mom, your grandmother alienate you from your father. But it's another thing when your ass in it too, like shit, I don't want to talk to him. Fuck that. Fuck him. You said fuck him, I say fuck him. So we all on team fuck him. And then you was never there for me. And your fathers and your grandfathers looking at you like, motherfucker, you used to hang up the phone on me. You used to act crazy when I called. You used to disrespect me because you didn't want to be in my company. You used to have these breakdowns and fights and drag outs. I don't want to be with you. I don't like you. I don't like you. And now all of a sudden you want to turn around and talk about you abandoned. And now that you really need help, I owe you. That's some bullshit. And then y'all don't never had to pay the fathers and grandfathers back for that, huh? You know, you remember when you wasn't there for me? You remember that 2 years that you hung up on me? Remember that 2 or 3 years you were saying fuck you? You know, I owe you for abandoning you. What you owe me for that shit? What up, she? What you owe your dad and your granddad for that? How much you owe them? I don't owe them nothing. Nothing? I'm gonna tell you how bad this is. Fathers are viewed in such a disgusting manner that stepfathers are, are disrespected because you ain't my daddy. You a traitor to your own goddamn daddy, and then somebody's coming in there to help raise your little goofy, ungrateful ass, and you a traitor to them too. And then you know how you respect them? Well, go find it. If you I ain't your daddy, go ask your motherfucking daddy for some money then. Go ask your daddy to pick your ass up. Go ask your daddy to take you to the mall. Go ask your daddy to give you money for the movies. Go ask your daddy to buy you some jeans. Go ask your daddy for the fucking video game since I ain't, I ain't shit. But then it's like, man, I can't ask my daddy. Why you can't ask your daddy? Because you's an asshole. That's why. You burnt that bridge being an asshole. But we ain't gonna talk. We're not supposed to talk about that. Oh, that's not true. That's hella true. That's how a lot of people wind up getting done wrong. Oh, I was gonna get that tech because I did the reverse of it. And uh, 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 uh. I'm gonna touch on something to expound on part of that tech, but I'm gonna do it in a different way. It's funny how y'all say y'all fathers ain't shit, but the father that you gravitate to the most is the ones that really ain't shit. The father that can't never come through, you long for that motherfucker. Oh man, I miss you, daddy. I miss you. I know you don't call, you don't write, you don't come by, you don't hold your word, you don't keep your promises, but I love you. I still love you. But the one that's responsible, that's gonna have your back, that's there, that's doing all the work, that's taking all the shots, doing all the dirty work, that's making sure shit gonna get done. That word is good. Oh, all of a sudden, I hate him. He ain't no real man. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? This is inspired by you, Doc. just for the record. This is where we at with it. Fathers get treated like, we're not second-class citizens. We're not third. Let me tell you how bad fathers are treated, viewed as disgusting. I was talking to a guy in the gym like 2 days ago. And I said, when I was a kid, for a short period of time, I went to a Catholic school in New Orleans. And that was like 30-something years ago. And in that Catholic school, they taught us, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now they teach motherfuckers Jesus is God. Jesus is God. He his own father. We live in a country where you follow a religion that says the Son of God, we can't even respect that he's the Son of God no more, because he shouldn't even have a daddy neither, because daddies aren't to be respected. So now you go into a church and, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, motherfucker, this is my father's house. My father is Jesus. Wait, don't Jesus have a father? But this happens with you and your own children, in your own family. I've seen it a million times. People hate their father, or at the minimum, disrespect and distrust their father, and then turn right the fuck around. Because I'm about to get real for about 30 seconds. Hold up. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try not to cuss, but I'm going to be dead ass with this. Let me tell y'all what a lot of y'all got mental issues and abandonment issues and all of these fake fucking issues. You, for the first time in your life, were treated like your father was treated and you had a mental motherfucking breakdown. You were surrounded by ungrateful motherfuckers who you were working for, who you were feeding, who you were clothing, who you were housing, who didn't give a shit about your well-being, and who undermined everything you did. And now it gave you a drinking problem and a smoking problem because you can't believe that people that you have birthed or taken care of or brought into this world could be so goddamn ungrateful. Karma's a bitch, ain't it? But for some reason, you can't even see, damn, I'm getting treated. You think you getting treated like somebody else. I don't deserve this. No, you getting treated the same way your daddy got treated. That's why you see all these older men chuckling and shit. You know, man, I'm getting done like this and I'm getting done like that. It's bullshit. It's fucked up. And they, young blood, boy, you know what I'm saying? I was going through that from 76 to 99, boy. I mean, hey, man, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same, young blood. Just keep on living, you know. Them kids they gonna be the same way over and over and over again. It's like, wait a minute, what the hell, you know, and I'm glad you said that. I noticed that some of these young people take on the bad characteristics of the fathers that they hate. This is the funny part about this. A lot of they fucking bad characteristics don't come from their father. This is what I mean by fathers get treated in a disgusting manner. A lot of these bad characteristics come from your mama side of the family. Because after all, they the ones that raised your stupid ass. I don't understand how you think you just a, a degenerate motherfucker and you blaming it on a person that you ain't never met or you ain't never been good. This is the same person that shit smacked you in the fucking mouth a long time ago for your disrespect, but they tolerated your ass because they loved you. This is the same person that put food in your mouth while you were disrespecting them because they tolerated your ass because you love. But I got my temper from my daddy. No, you don't. No, you don't, because your daddy didn't run around doing the stupid shit you did. Your mama did. Your sisters did. Your brothers did. Daddy wasn't around here smacking people and getting into fights. That wasn't your daddy. Your daddy wasn't the one going out in public cussing people out. You wasn't. Your daddy didn't go to McDonald's, bitch. I said no mayo on the cheeseburger. That wasn't your daddy. Wasn't doing shit like that. See, a lot of this bad behavior and bad characteristics, that's entitlement that came from who raised you. And you don't never want to talk about that. See, a lot of people don't ever want to talk about, man, how do I have all these bad character flaws? And then when you meet and they come from your dads, but when you meet your dad don't have that fucking character flaw. Your dad's family don't have that fucking character flaw. And now you trying to, well, maybe he changed. No, bitch, maybe you've been the same the whole time. That's what it is. Maybe you've been the same asshole the whole time. That's what that is. You know. This is what goes on in society. Because these fathers are what's holding y'all goofy asses up. Let me. I try not to sometimes say certain things on purpose because I don't even want to go down that path sometimes. But let me explain to y'all what the attack on the family and the black family has always been about. Money. Always been about money. But not necessarily for the reason that some of you may think. Because fathers teach their children skills that can pay them in the real world. So let me get rid of the father because your father might teach you things. See, your father might teach you how to cut hair. Your father might teach you how to lay a foundation or to level concrete or to put shingles on a roof, or to put in drywall, or to fix a car, or to fix a fence. You get what I'm saying? Can we keep going down this road? Your father might teach you those skills. We taught you how to play football and baseball and da 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 da. He also taught you how to change a tire. Your father is the one that teaches you skills that you don't have to. Your father might teach you how to snake a drain, or to fix a toilet, or to fix, you know what I'm saying, or to fix a garbage disposal. The shit that might cost your ass money in the real world, or you could do something and get a job at doing it, or lay some tile, or some wood down, or paint the inside and outside of a house. That's what your father gonna teach, or lay bricks. That's the shit that your father teach you. So if you don't have any skills, any skill sets, now you have a society that all they know how to do is sit in an air-conditioned environment and complain about what somebody hasn't done for their goofy ass. Oh, well, the computer isn't running. The lights aren't bright enough. The AC is too cold. The heat is too hot. Could somebody come fix this? Oh, my car's my check engine lights come on, but I don't know what to do with it. And now you've hated your father so much, you had never thought a minute in your life that, damn, this daddyless country is expensive. Because dad will show you how. Look, man, you don't need all that shit. You know how I know that? Because your dad was the ones running around with old jeans on. Your dad didn't have a motherfucking sneaker collection. Your granddad didn't have a sneaker collection. Let me tell you what they had back in the day. 4 shoes. And I don't even mean work shoes. They had black, brown, blue, and either gray or white. They had 4 shoes to go out in. They had a couple of suits. They didn't dress up often. You had all the good shit. I said that earlier. You had all the good shit. I had all these toys. Yeah, you did. You want to know what your dads and granddads, why they were in the garage? Because they needed peace of mind. Why they were fixing cars and fixing stuff? Because they was working all them shifts and all that overtime to make sure you had fucking money. They always had the money in their pocket. They wallet was full of goddamn money. Minute your moms and your grandmom and your auntie needed something, go ahead, baby, go and do that. There you go. He pulled in another shift. Who the fuck you pulling the shift for? Nobody. The vast majority of you motherfuckers don't even put into your own retirement because you don't give a fuck about your own kids like that. You're not going to work for your own kids. You're not trying to leave nothing to them. My father never left me nothing. That's bullshit. Your fathers and your grandfathers left your bitch ass something. You just blew it. That's what happened. You blew it. Do you know how many people are walking around here whose dad was and wasn't in their life? And your dad's still paying your bills and taking care of your motherfucking kids. And you are such a fuck up that you taking food out of your kids' inheritance from your dad. And then that's how y'all say, my dad never left me nothing, because you were a fuck up. Because for most of your adult life, your dad was going in his pocket to give your dumb ass money because you kept fucking up your life. And now, same way that we talk about with grandmothers. They don't want to see their grandchildren suffer. So they paying for this and they paying for that and now by the time they die, ain't shit left. And you saying they ain't left you nothing, but they didn't spend $200,000-$300,000 on your goofy motherfucking ass while you was living because you don't know how to do shit but be a dumbass. And they've told you and they've showed you ways to get ahead, but you didn't want to do that shit because it entailed work. See, a lot of you associate fathers with work and you hate fucking working. That's what that is. At the end of the day, that's what that is. I don't want to work. A lot of y'all are hoes at heart. That's what it is. See, a lot of y'all don't want to talk about how you want to be kept. Men and women, you want somebody to take care of you for the rest of your life. And that person owes you something. You deserve to be taken care of. What does your fathers and your grandfathers deserve for taking care of your goofy ass? What do they deserve? Tell me that. You made sure your mama funeral was great. See, a lot of y'all don't realize, and I'm gonna go back in the day. A lot of y'all don't realize, what was that damn movie? Imitation of Life. A lot of y'all don't love y'all fathers and y'all grandfathers until they dead. Sure, what's happening? You know, a lot of y'all don't, because a lot of y'all celebrate the death of y'all fathers and grandfathers. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm glad he gone. Nigga ain't never did shit for me. Okay. Okay. It's funny how these guys never did shit for you. But somehow you sitting in his motherfucking house on his motherfucking couch, eating at his motherfucking table from his motherfucking plates. And he ain't never did shit. Never. And I never forget this shit. So there's a story I was told once. I don't know if it was here or when I was in college. I forget where it was. This guy was in college and he was just taking a crap on his father every chance he got. You know, fuck my daddy. He ain't shit. That nigga ain't this. That nigga ain't that. He ain't never done this. He ain't never did that. And this guy kept getting gifts. He kept getting gifts, right? And he's like, I love my mom. My mom's a great woman. So he's in college, and anybody who's been in college, I'm guessing the military is the same way. They got the college mail, the college post office where all the PO boxes at, and you go pick up your packages. And one of his roommates was just looking at him and how he was talking about his dad all the time. He was like, something ain't right. Just something ain't right. So he goes, the guy gets another package and another package, and he looks, and his roommate looks at the name, and it ain't no woman's name, it's his dad's name. Dad's name and its address. So all the shit this guy's been receiving, he been receiving it from his father, saying he got it from his mother the whole time. And then his roommate's like, then he tells the other suite mates, because colleges, it was a suite in certain colleges, one door, 3-4 rooms in that, suite or whatever. So he's shitting on his father. Then one of the roommates bust him out, like, nigga, you shitting on your daddy so much, all this shit you got from him. Okay. And I remember being in college. And I'm going to tell you how fucked up this is. I've seen more mothers steal from their children and have a bond, and they're thick as thieves together. And I've seen more fathers give to their children and they give them the finger. I know countless stories of men and women who mothers was taking child support, who and fucking them over, or they had the kid to have a settlement because something happened, they get hit by a car or a medical accident, and guess who took the money and had the money? It went through mama's hands. You know what mama did? Mama burnt through that motherfucking money. Mama bought a Lexus. Got her hair done. Mama bought more wigs than motherfucking Patti LaBelle and Shaka Khan put together. Mama bought outfits. And then when them kids became grown, fuck you, kid. But I love my mama. But I've seen more fathers and grandfathers. But I got to give a shout out to my grandmother because she was one of those people. She was responsible like that. I'm not even finna sit here and say women don't do it because they do, because it happened in my life. But I for but I can tell you emphatically, every time I seen somebody, especially in college, with an apartment, with a car, with a bank account, and the majority of the adults I've seen who weren't working and they were getting taken care of, the vast majority of them, that was somebody. That was their father. That was their father. Vast majority, the vast majority of the women I've seen who, I remember I was in the gym working out one day, and this young lady came in there, and she had a Porsche. Not the big Porsche truck, the small Porsche truck. And I'm like, all right, young lady, Porsche truck, whatever. Bop, bop, bop. Guess what? My dad worked at the plant in Detroit, for years, So I got this because of my dad. Like, oh really? See, I've seen this time and time again. I ain't even gonna. Truth be told, when I was younger, did y'all know that James Brown would buy his kids houses and pay the houses off and make sure his kids would would not have any bills? Did y'all know that? I can tell you that for a fact. I can tell you that for a fact because my older cousin lived in a subdivision, and him and the daughter, her husband, they were cool. So these were mini mansions. You know what I'm saying? James Brown's daughter lived in the same subdivision as Master P. And that's just one of his kids. So I'm talking from a low level to a guy, I've seen police officers do this, truck drivers do this, what you call that? Postal workers do this, lawyers do this, doctors do this, um, construction workers do this. I done seen the whole gamut, man. Be the that sucks, but that's a reality, you know. So it's like, okay, this is what we doing. So the way we treat fathers is hella disgusting, you know. So when they, oh, I never. So I'm gonna try to. I'm trying to like. Don't get me wrong. I want to be real concise, but in my mind, I'm having so many stories run in my head right now. It's ridiculous. You know, I can tell you two stories off the top of my head. I ain't even gonna finish them. Daddy died, left them the house. They lost the house. They almost lost the house. The other siblings found out that they didn't pay the taxes on the house, and they had to wire the money to not lose the house. Daddy died. The other siblings didn't want to live in the house because I don't like it because it's an old house. Don't like dad. It's an old house. I just don't want no parts of this. I just want to sell it. Sell a house for 30 fucking $7,000 when they could have kept the house. 3 months later, the house was worth $320,000 because they were gentrifying the neighborhood the whole time. And they goofy fucking ass knew that, and the dad was already telling them that before he passed. But you know what? I don't like daddy. I just want a nice apartment. And now these motherfuckers can't make rent and they roommating with their siblings and shit. Why? Because it was daddy stuff. It's daddy stuff. Daddy didn't leave nothing. Is that a 1954 Cadillac? Yes. Why? Yes, it is. Your daddy left you a 1954 Cadillac with the wing tips on that motherfucker. It's just, he always wanted his old car. Do you know how much you can sell that fucking car for? See, you goofy motherfuckers. You remember Mama's wedding ring? Who bought Mama's wedding ring, you jackass? These are family heirlooms. Who bought all of these fucking family heirlooms? The fathers and grandfathers bought the family heirlooms. The women wore them. Is that a Winchester from like 1962? You know, yes, it is. That's I don't like guns. Throw that away. Nigga, what are you doing? Is that a rifle from the Korean War? Yeah, it is. I just don't want to. I don't like stuff like that. What the fuck are you talking about? Did your daddy leave you? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me your family left you 40 acres of fucking land? I sold it. I don't want to work all that land. I ain't working like no goddamn slave. 40 fucking acres. How much you sell each of the acres for? I sold it for about like, 2,000 an acre or some shit. You sold 40 acres for two, you goofy motherfucker. Okay. I'm gonna tell you why this is disgusting. Cause see, a lot of y'all, he cheated. Oh, he cheated. He cheated. Huh. He cheated on her. He cheated on my mama, my grandmama. Uh-huh. Huh. Interesting. So he cheated, and so you disrespect him for the rest of his life because he cheated. Didn't your mom and your grandmama cheat too? It's the reason one of your uncles is light and the other one's dark. And they both came from your damn mama and grandmama. But, she's a God-fearing woman. You full of shit. You know, and I respect that. And that was the other thing. I was looking at Shaq talk about his father, and his stepfather died, and his father, he talks to his father now to this day. And he didn't start talking to his father. Man, Roger, thanks, fam. Man, boy, you just don't know. You just don't. Yeah, I feel you on that. I'm gonna pivot real quick. Let me explain to y'all why some of y'all grandmothers was in church. See, a lot of y'all grandfathers died. They died. And like I said earlier, they left their pensions and their money, their houses, pensions, annuities to your grandmothers. And your grandmother did whatever she was willing to take care of the family. And you felt like your grandmother was a good, great woman because she was always giving and giving and giving. And your grandmother was always in church praying for y'all, praying for the family, praying that things go right, praying that y'all get it together. And you wondered, oh, she's a praying godly woman. Because she had to become the patriarch of the family per se. She wasn't the patriarch, but she's the matriarch of the family. But she was, for the first time in her life, realized what her husband had to deal with was, you stupid motherfuckers. And y'all all disliked him because he knew y'all goofy asses wasn't shit. By the way, the easiest lesson that you can see about this on television right now is power. It's the Cosby Show. It's Family Matters. Why am I saying this? Because at the end of the day, all the kids was fuck ups. The wives, fuck ups. I ain't gonna say all the wives was fuck ups, but you know, it was all fuck ups. Nobody ever puts into play, damn, Tariq killed his father and he's running around being a weak, soft, pussified fuck up. And everybody's cool with that. The Cosby Show. Dad's a doctor, mom's a lawyer. Oldest daughter, fuck up. Youngest daughter, fuck up. Theo was fucking up. What was the one that went to college? She was a fuck up too. And none of the kids wound up being as successful as the parents. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. None of the kids wound up being as successful as the father. Family Matters. None of the kids wound up being successful as the father. None of them. You know why? Because none of them wanted to work. You know, yeah, Rudy. Even in the Cosby Show, if you pay attention to the show, by the end of the show, they were more focused on Max and Olivia because that was the best option they had. They wasn't even their fucking kids. Because all the kids had shown that they couldn't get it together. But they sure want daddy to come pay for everything. Over and over and over again. It's disgusting. What up with it? Rudy got a baby daddy. You know. And that's why a lot of y'all love y'all mothers to this day. Cause your dad ain't around to kick your ass out. Your mama, that's what baby boy is about. Think about that. Y'all go back and y'all look at baby boy. Tyrese was staying with his mama because his mama was staying with her mama in they goddamn granddad house. That wasn't a fucking mama house. This big mama house. No, the fuck is not. And another dude had to come in the house to kick the son ass to get him out of the house to grow up. And he was the bad guy. Just don't make no sense. You remember, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I've been on here for like an hour and some change. I'm gonna get up out of here, man, because this whole scenario angers the hell out of me. But I'm off tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna get back on this topic. Believe me, we're gonna get back on this topic. But I'm gonna get out of here for now. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.